The Emperor's New Clothes by Roald Dahl. The royal tailor, Mr. Ho, had premises on Savile Row, and thence the king would make his way at least a dozen times a day. His passion was for gorgeous suits, and sumptuous cloaks and fur-lined boots, and brilliant waistcoats lined in red, hand-sewn with gold and silver thread. Within the palace things were grand, with valets everywhere on hand, to hang the clothes and clean and press, and help the crazy king to dress. But clothes are very dangerous things, especially for wealthy kings. This king had gone to pot so fast, his clothes came first, his people last. One valet, who was seen to leave a spot of gravy on a sleeve, was hung from the rafters by his hair and left forever dangling there. Another, who had failed to note a fleck of dust upon a coat, was ordered to be boiled alive, a fate not easy to survive. And one who left a pinch of snuff upon a pale blue velvet cuff was minced inside a large machine and reappeared as margarine. Oh, what a beastly, horrid king! The people longed to do him in. And so a dozen brainy men met secretly inside a den to formulate a subtle plot to polish off this royal clot. Up spake the very brainiest man, who cried, "Well, I've got a wizard plan. Please come with me. We all must go to see the royal tailor Ho. We'll tell him very strong and true exactly what he's got to do." So thus the secret plans were laid, and all arrangements quickly made. 'Twas winter time, with lots of snow, and every day the king would go to ski a bit before he dined, in ski suits specially designed. But even on these trips he'd stop to go into the tailor's shop. "Oh, Majesty," cried Mr. Ho, "I cannot wait to let you know that I've contrived at last to get from secret weavers in Tibet a cloth so magical and fine, so unbelievably divine. You've never seen its like before, and never will you do no more." The king yelled out, "Well, I'll buy the lot. I'll purchase every yard you've got." The tailor smiled and bowed his head. "Oh, honored sire," he swiftly said, "this marvelous magic cloth has got amazing ways to keep you hot. And even when it's icy cold, you'll still feel warm as molten gold. However hard the north wind blows, you still won't need your underclothes." The king said, "Well, if it's all that warm, I'll have a skiing uniform. I want ski trousers and a jacket. I don't care if it costs a packet. Produce the cloth. I want to see this marvelous stuff you're selling me." The tailor, feigning great surprise, said, "Sire, it's here, before your eyes." The king said, "Where? Well, just tell me where." "It's in my hands, O king, right here," the king yelled, tearing at his hair. "Don't be an ass. There's nothing there." The tailor cried, "Oh, hold on, I pray. There's something I forgot to say. This cloth's invisible to fools and nincompoops and other ghouls. For brainless men who are round the twist, this cloth does simply not exist. But seeing how you're wise and bright, I'm sure it glimmers in your sight. Now, right on cue, exactly then, in burst the dozen brainy men. They shouted, "Oh, what lovely stuff! We want some. Do you have enough?" Extremely calm, the tailor stands with nothing in his empty hands and says, "No, no, this gorgeous thing is only for my lord the king. The king, not wanting to admit to being a proper royal twit, cried out, "Oh, isn't it divine? I want it all, it's mine, it's mine. I want a skiing outfit most, so I can keep as warm as toast." The brainy men all cried, "Egad! Oh, Majesty, you lucky lad! You'll feel so cozy in the snow, with temps at 0 and below." Next day the tailor came to fit the costume on the royal twit. The brainy men all went along to see that nothing should go wrong. The tailor said, "Strip naked, sire. This suit's so warm you won't require your underclothes or pants or vest, or even hair upon your chest." And now the clever Mr. Ho put on the most terrific show of dressing up the naked king in nothing, not a single thing. "That's right, sir. Slip your arm in there. And now I'll zip you up right here. Do you feel comfy? Does it fit? Or should I take it in a bit?" Now, during this absurd charade, and while the king was off his guard, the brainy men, so shrewd and sly, had turned the central heating high. The king, although completely bare, with not a stitch of underwear, began to sweat and mop his brow, and cried, "Why, I do believe you now! I feel as though I'm going to roast. This suit will keep me warm as toast." The queen just then came strolling through with ladies of her retinue. They stopped. They gasped. There stood the king, as naked as a piece of string, as naked as a popinjay, with not a fig leaf in the way. He shouted, striking up a pose, "Behold my marvelous skiing clothes! These clothes will keep me toasty warm, in hail or sleet or snow or storm." Some ladies blushed and hid their eyes, and uttered little plaintive cries, but some, it seemed, enjoyed the pleasures of looking at the royal treasures. A brazen wench cried, "Oh, my hat! Hey, girls, just take a look at that!" The queen, who'd seen it all before, made swiftly for the nearest door. The king cried, "Now I'm off to ski. You ladies want to come with me?" They shook their heads. So off he went, a madman off on pleasure bent. The crazy king put on his skis, and now, oblivious to the freeze, he shot outdoors and skied away, still naked as a popinjay. And thus this fool, so lewd and squalid, in half an hour was frozen solid. All the nation cried, "Hey ho! The king's deep frozen in the snow.